Hello and welcome back to the online training courses on risk management for tour operators. In this course, we will talk about incident reports. Insurance and reputational risk will be covered in more detail in the presentation by Explore Worldwide. First, we will introduce incident reports. We'll then give an example of an incident report which is filled out. We'll then briefly talk about the role of the employee responsible for risk management in your company. We'll go over the next homework assignment and present the references this course is based on. So here we have our standard risk management system again. You now have emergency preparedness plans in place to deal with incidents. The next step is reporting on these incidents to help you improve your risk management system. That brings us to incident reports. How do we report on accidents and near accidents? So what is an incident report? Well, it is a report by the guide or another person if the guide is unable on an incident. So this means an accident in your tour or a near accident in your tour. So what should be inside the report? There are a couple of things. Information on the incident itself. So when did it occur? Where did it occur? And how did it occur? Information on the clients. So who was directly involved in the incident and who was indirectly affected by the incident. And finally, information on what was done by staff following the incident. The guide should include as many details as possible. So we have to have a good reporting form to give the guides a framework to provide those important details. Let's now go over an example of an incident report. So the reporting form in this example is divided into 4 parts. The first part of this incident form is general information on the incident. So let's just quickly fill it out. Reported by, let's say, Amy Adams. Name of the guide. Amy Adams is also the guide. Name of the tour. It's important to know which tour the incident occurred in so you can evaluate the tour later. Let's say it was City Walking Tour number 3. Seriousness of the incident. Here you indicate whether it was an accident, near accident, or some other incident. Let's say it was an accident. Date and time of incident. Let's say July 1st, 2011 at around 3 p.m. Place of incident. Let's say the stairs leading to the monument in the city center. Description of the incident. The client tripped over a step and fell down 4 to 5 steps. Actions taken by the guide. So how did the guide react after the incident? Let's say Amy Adams instructed the driver to stay with the other clients. She called the emergency number 112 in this case, tried to ensure the client's maximum comfort, and she went with the ambulance and client to the hospital. In the hospital, the tour operator's employee responsible for risk management took charge. The guide rejoined the other clients for dinner at around 6 p.m. So the second part of this incident report form is personal information on the involved client. So name of the client. Let's say Bill Baker. Email, billbaker@email.com. Description of injury. He got an injury to his leg, a sprain, and scratches on his hand. It is important that the guide filling out this form should include as many details as possible. Was the client transferred to the hospital? Yes, he was. Did the client refuse hospital treatment? This happens sometimes, so it's important to record in the case of a legal claim. Let's say no, he did not refuse treatment. Transported by ambulance? Yes. Any other type of transport? No. Were the police called to the scene? No, they were not. Rescue teams involved? Ambulance and the paramedics. The third part of this incident report form involves the other clients. So these are the clients that weren't directly affected by the incident. So let's fill out this part of the form. Were any other group members in need of trauma support? Let's say no. Everyone else was fine and not too upset. Was support offered? Let's say no. Our guide forgot and she fills out the report honestly. It's important that guides do not feel like they have to lie. Other actions taken concerning clients. Amy Adams, our guide, wrote, "When I left to go to the hospital with the injured client, the driver brought the other clients back to the hotel. I rejoined the other clients when the tour operator's risk management employee took charge at the hospital, approximately 3 hours after the incident." So you can see the guide went into a lot of detail. Witnesses to accident. Who else saw the accident? This could be important when it comes to legal claims. Let's say it was only the other clients. Here we give their emails and telephone numbers as well. The last part of this report covers the other important information. So for example, was the tour operator's risk management employee informed of the incident? Yes, at around 4 p.m. on the day of the incident. Was the insurance company of the client informed? Yes, at 3:20 p.m. Was the insurance company of the tour operator informed? Yes, at 5 p.m. on the day of the incident. Other necessary information? Here, any other useful information regarding the accident should be recorded. For example, our guide wrote, "The client at first tried to continue with the activity. I had to insist that we call an ambulance." This detail could be important if, for example, the client wants to take legal action against you. Signature of person who filled out the report. The report has to be signed, of course. Signature of guide unless the same as above. So this stays empty in our case. And finally, actions taken after incident. So what was done by the tour operator after the incident? This part of the report should be filled out by the tour operator, so by the employee responsible for risk management. It should say what was done to minimize the risk of this accident happening again. In this case, standard operating procedures for guides were updated. Guides should warn clients about tripping over uneven ground or steps. So the staff on the ground, usually the guides, fill out the incident report. But what is the role of the employee responsible for risk management exactly? What happens to the incident reports once they are filled out? Before answering these questions directly, let's first discuss, why are incident reports important? Well, firstly, incident reports play an important role if legal action is taken against you. Explore Worldwide will go into more details on this later. Incident reports also help you evaluate your risk management system. When you read an incident report, you can see whether your risk management system is effective or if it needs to be improved. When an incident occurs, you can ask, is your risk assessment up to date? Does the accident mean that there are new risks in your tours? Do old risks have to be looked at again? After reading an incident report, you may consider to update your risk assessment. Incident reports can also help to show you, are your standard operating procedures working? You have to ask, why did the accident happen? Should I have new procedures and rules in place to minimize risk? After seeing an incident report, you may consider to update your SOPs. Finally, incident reports can show you: are your emergency preparedness plans useful? Is your staff prepared to manage emergencies well? After reading the incident report and seeing how your staff reacted to the accident, you should see whether your emergency preparedness plan for that specific emergency should be updated or not. So what is the role of the employee responsible for risk management exactly? The employee responsible for risk management should collect and store the incident reports. For legal and insurance purposes, it's very important that you collect and store all your incident reports. Legal action is sometimes taken many years later. The employee should also analyze the incident reports by answering the questions from the previous slide and update your risk management system if necessary. So this includes updating the risk assessment or SOPs or emergency preparedness plans, or all three. Finally, the employee should distribute and communicate the purpose of incident reporting to your guides. You can see that incident reports are primarily a tool to improve. It is important that your guides know that the tool is there to help things improve and that incident reports aren't there to assign blame to anyone. This is important so that the guides fill out the report accurately and honestly. Let's now quickly go over the next homework assignment. For the next homework assignment, please make an incident report template for your company. You can download the incident report template on our website to guide you. Please send your assignments to riskmanagementfortourism@gmail.com. Here are our references for this course. Thank you for your attention.